story about a time that you know that you saw something, but you don't ever tell this story because you know that no one would ever believe?
So I have two stories about something that happened to me that I saw or that I heard, and that I don't think anybody would believe me. And if I wasn't with somebody, I wouldn't have a witness, and nobody would believe me either. So both of these things happened up in Westchester County, where I currently live. Now, I'm originally from the Bronx, born and raised, so I'm used to, like, especially in the night, certain sounds. Living up in the suburbs, the quiet is deafening because it is so quiet, and it's nothing you're not used to. You have to get used to that. It's kind of like a culture shock. So we're in my apartment where I used to live previously, and my son, I want to say he was probably, I don't know, he was a toddler, so maybe like 18 months, maybe 2 years old. All of a sudden, he goes, "Mommy, there's a monster." Now, we're sitting in the living room. He's playing. We're watching TV. So his father and I are like, "Papi, there's no monster. Those are just the night noises you hear." Now, that's what we tried to explain to him, so he wouldn't be, so he wouldn't be scared of the dark, and he wouldn't be scared of the noises. So night noises. And if you know, you know. It's like the sounds of all the insects or the crickets outside, animals scurrying, around foraging for food. Not like the loud music, the voices, the horns, the sirens that you're used to hearing in the city. So we're like, "No, Papi, it's just the night noises." So he goes, "No, there's a monster." Right after he says that, we hear a low growl. So we're like, "What the fuck is that?" So my son's father goes to look out the window. Now, in hindsight, why the fuck he did that, I have no idea. Because number one, not only are we from the fucking hood, but number two, we watch horror movies. You should fucking know better. So he went to go look out the window. Not me with my scary ass. I stayed right where I was with my son. He goes to look out the window. We're on the second floor. He looks downstairs. All of a sudden, he comes in, slams the door closed. He is like pale. His eyes are like a deer caught in headlights. He's like, "Yo, what the fuck is that?" And I'm like, "What the fuck is what?" And he's like, "Yo, I don't know what I just saw." All of a sudden, the growling intensifies. And it is not a growl that I have ever heard since then, and a growl that I've never heard before. I don't know what it was. My son's father said he could not explain it. He was like, it wasn't a raccoon, it wasn't an opossum, it definitely wasn't like a deer, or like a wild turkey. Like, those are the animals we're used to seeing. I was like, maybe it was a bobcat, because every once in a while we get bobcat sightings in our area. It wasn't any of that. He can't even describe it. All he said was that it was dark, it was like black, and the eyes were like glowing. I was like, all right, yeah, no, we're not fucking doing that. And my son heard this before either one of us did. And I know that they say children have a sixth sense for those things. Not today, Satan. Not there. No. We weren't playing that game. I was like, nah, we're not looking out the window. We're not trying to figure out what it is. We're not going outside to investigate. Fuck whatever is out there. It can stay the fuck out there, and it's not coming into this house. The second time, I was with my son's father again. Now, we had ended up moving back to the Bronx. So I would bring my son to my mom's, and she would sometimes stay with him on the weekends. Again, up in Westchester County. Dropped off my son, whatever, getting back onto the highway. It was the weirdest thing, because to get onto the highway, it's kind of like a curve, right? The entrance ramp is a curve, and then you merge into traffic. We didn't say anything. I want to say about a mile or two down the road, he goes, "Did you see that?" And I went, "Oh my God, did you see that?" We both saw the same thing, and we don't know what it was. But entering the highway onto the entrance ramp, in the distance, we saw a shadowy figure. Don't know what it is. To this day, we never figured it out. When we went back to my mom's on Sunday to pick up my son, it was now daylight. When we were leaving, when we saw this shadowy figure, it was like nighttime. So when we went to pick up my son the following day, and it was daylight, take the same route to get home. So we were looking to see if maybe it was a tree, maybe there was like highway construction crew or maintenance crew had like machines or something off to the side. There was nothing there. Nothing there that would have cast that shadow. And it wasn't a shadow like was cast onto the ground. Like, it wasn't like the moonlight was casting a shadow through the trees. It was something that was standing upright, and it was a shadowy figure. We don't know to this day. We don't know what it was. We never figured it out. But again, not today, Satan. I didn't do any more investigation than what we did when we got back on the highway the next day to come home. And that was it. But I don't ever, like, I've never told anybody that story because people will probably think we're fucking crazy and they wouldn't believe us.
Yo, y'all believe her? Y'all believe her? It's the babies for me. It's the baby. The baby heard something. Y'all was just like, what you talking about? No, 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 no. That's just the world outside. The insects, nature. And you're like, all right. Did y'all hear the fact that your baby daddy opened the window to see what was outside is wow to me. That is wow. Why are we opening the window? Like, to see what's going on outside. I'm not doing that. If I'm going to look out the window, it's just gonna be through the glass. Like, the way I look out the window is, okay, this is the window, this is the blinds. Now, you know there's this little tiny little slit in between the blinds. Sometimes I can't see, but there's holes. There's holes in the blinds, like the string. You know, when you pull the string and the string that, you know, makes them open and then, you know, close. There's little tiny oval holes that I peep through. You see my little peep? I peep through to see what's going on the outside, so no one knows that I'm looking outside or that I'm even home. Like, no one knows anything. If I can't see through the little hole or the slit between the window and the blinds, if I can't see what I need to see through those little spots, I don't need to see it. I don't need to see it at all. Like, what are we doing, honey? No. The way I couldn't even imagine seeing his face or the way he came back in the room. I'd be like, nope. What we about to do now? Find weapons. That's what we're about to do. Find weapons. Have everything with us to be prepared. We have a plan. We're getting a plan together while we're sitting here. Okay, just in case, baby. Just in, girl, bye. Y'all saw something in the curve. Oh, girl. I couldn't even imagine seeing something while I'm driving and still be like, in the curve, because I'm a driver, boo. So if I'm in the curve, I'm in the curve, hanging it. Imagine hanging a curve and seeing something and not saying something. Girl, I don't think I can do that. See something, say something. That's what I learned. We learned this. What was that? Who was that? Coach Hart? Who was that? What movie was that? No, that was the movie. Oh, Lean on Me? Was that Lean on Me? We learned this at a young age, honey. Girl, bye. Oh no, that's teach one, reach each one, right? Reach one, teach one. I don't know, but we learned this at a young age. Girl, bye. I kind of believe it. I kind of believe it because I'm with you on that. No, you can investigate. No, nowadays I do investigate because, you know, I need to see what's going on. What is going on so I can prepare for whatever's going on. I need to see so I know how to pray. You feel me? Because, you know, we need to cast this away. I need to put some identification on this. Like, whatever you are, I need to identify you so I can dismiss you, so I can get rid of you. You feel me on that? Girl, bye. Girl, bye. I'm not trying to see any or hear any of that. That's too much. What you doing?
Kids are kind of like animals, pets. They can see things that you can't see. There's a video going around and it's pretty popular right now, but I'm not going to show it because I don't want to show the little girl's face, but it's this toddler. She's like 2 probably. She can't really communicate well yet, but you can tell that she's scared. She's on the couch, she's like hiding her face in the pillow, and then she'll raise up and look over the couch and she like sees something. Her mom's like, what is she seeing? What's happening? And then she keeps telling the little girl, there's nothing there. And you can tell that the little girl is confused because she can clearly see something there. So she doesn't understand why her mom can't see whatever's there. When you watch the video, there's nothing for me physically to see there, but I can tell that there's like a boy there. It's hard to explain, but it's like I can see him like in my mind that he's there, but I don't like physically see him. I know that sounds crazy, but I just can. The little girl is clearly like seeing something that she sees and she's upset by it. And she keeps trying to like hide her face like in her mom's chest and stuff. And she starts going, bye, bye, because that's the only way that she can communicate that she wants whatever is there to leave. And you know how in some of those videos you'll see like the parent kind of coaching the kid, like, what do you see? Like, what's there? Is there a ghost? And the kid's like, yeah, a ghost. That's not how this is. Mom never once like says anything like, oh, do you see like a ghost? Do you see a bad man? Do you see anything like that? The mom is trying to convince the little girl that there's nothing there. And then you can see like the confusion and like the fear on the little girl's face. So I tell you all of this because if you have a small child that comes to you clearly terrified and they're not able to verbally tell you what is scaring them, if they are visibly afraid and you can tell that they're afraid, whatever they are seeing is there. But what you should do is like reiterate that they're okay, that they're safe with you, and that whatever's there can't harm them. But you are your child's safe place. So if they're coming to you afraid, don't tell them that they're not right, because that just makes them not want to tell you anymore when they are afraid, you know? And don't forget, just because you can't do something doesn't mean someone else can't do something, because a lot of the times people show up in my comments telling me that like, oh, I'm full of it because they can't do it. That would be like me going to like some neurosurgeon and being like, I can't do that, so you can't either. That's dumb. As much as you want to think that you know everything and that you can do everything, sometimes there's things that some people just can't do. Like, I'm never going to be a brain surgeon, and I'm okay with that. So maybe think about that before you comment. And if you feel the need to comment, maybe just comment something like, oh, I can't do that. Cool that you can. Or swipe on. Have a lovely day.
Have a blessed day. Y'all saw that? Y'all seen that short? My mom's seen that short, and that's all she says now. That's all she says. But no, I think I've seen this video. And if I'm remembering correctly, the little girl saw it again, and the mom made a video. It was like in her room or something. If I'm thinking of the right video. But yeah, like I said in that last video, listen to these babies. They know what they see. They know what they hear. We might not can't hear, but they was just with God, so they already got that connection. They got superpower still because they was just with God. Like, it ain't faded away yet. So yeah, listen to these babies, and like she said, coach these kids through it. Let them know that, hey, you're okay with me. I'm your safe place. I know when I was younger, I was taught God. I was taught God. If you're scared or anything, you pray to God. God was very much taught in my young days, my childhood, even now, you know, all the way up. So teach these babies young. You gotta let them know who Jesus is young, how powerful and strong he is, the name of Jesus. Like, teach them young. Listen to these babies. Do not dismiss them. Like she said, when something's serious and when they're scared, they want to be able to come to you. And if you cut them off from that connection, that safe space from them, they're not going to come and tell you anything. When things like get physical and show up in the real life, in the present life, you know, I saw something the other day where it was just like, what was I watching? Cassandra. I was watching Cassandra. If you have not watched that, because you know all I do watch YouTube and Netflix and Tubi to go to sleep. But watch Cassandra. And honey, little girl, it wasn't a safe place. Like, her and her mom had a safe place, but someone could come in and mess up that safe place, mess up that connection, that interaction, and that talking, and that, you know, that communication. We don't want that. We don't want there to ever be a time, a moment where somebody can come in and influence your child and take away your connection, that communication between you and your child. So yeah, let them know that, yo, you're safe with me. I'm your safe place. Let them know that. Make sure they feel that, because that's very important. Kids are action-based learners. So yeah, love that video. We needed to hear that. You listen to these babies and dogs and cats.
Do you guys remember this story? I heard my name. It came from Imelda Torres, and a lot of you were like, we need to hear more from her. And thankfully, she DM'd me. But it was about a doll story. I can't with dolls. I just cannot. Imelda Torres, thank you again for sharing your story. She also said she has more, so I guess we're gonna wait for that. Here's another story. Please share on video. Also, love your storytelling. I didn't have to add that, but you know. This was in Florida. I was 7 years old at the time. I was staying at my cousin's house around the same age. Let's call her Zoe. Zoe had a baby doll. Zoe had a baby doll and I was always scared of it. I always thought it was creepy, and when Zoe would play with it, I would slam it on the ground, but Zoe wouldn't say anything. She just let me do it. My mom eventually found out I was doing that and told me not to do it ever again. What does mom know that we do not? That night, I had a dream of the doll chasing me. Weeks went by and Zoe asked if I wanted to play with her and the dolls. Since it's been 2 weeks, I got over the whole doll thing, so I agreed. In the middle of us playing, I said, I know a toy that would go good with this game. I ran to the room I was staying in and Zoe ran in and said, what are you doing? I told her what and we were walking to the room. When I stopped and watched as the doll's head moved slowly to the side, Zoe was behind me and seen it was in a different position, and we both ran to our parents and they didn't believe us. They said it was our imagination, and I said, then how did we both see it move? So we ended up throwing it away. I asked Zoe if she was glad we threw it away and she said she still kind of missed it. Zoe was the problem. There's no way I wouldn't have a heart attack if I saw that, because what the fuck? Have you guys had any weird experiences with dolls?
Nope. 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 And I was a dolls girl. I had all the brats, bruh. The brats boys, the brats girls. I had the limo. I had the convertible that you had the remote control. I still have that stuff. Still have it. My mom was just like, we need to sell that. We can get good money from that. Yeah. Had all the brats stuff. Had all the brats clothes. Like, all the clothes for all the dolls I had. Like, girl, I was a Bratz girl. I was a Bratz kid. I definitely had all the dolls. I had the Brandy doll. Like, yes, I was a collector's. For a minute, I couldn't play with it. For a little minute, I could not play with it. I loved that she had braids. I had Scary Spice. I had Scary Spice. Comment below if you had the Scary Spice doll, honey. I was a dolls girl. Like, I hate to admit it. I had dolls. And I love dolls and I played with dolls. Yes, I was a dolls girl. I had the black Barbies. The boy Ken, black Ken, had that one. So yeah, I can't even imagine, because we grew up on Toy Story. Did we grow up on Toy? Yeah, we grew up on Toy Story, and I always thought that my toys moved when I wasn't looking. I just thought so. Never witnessed it. Never wanted to. So yeah. Definitely would have freaked out if I was them in that moment. I couldn't even imagine telling an adult in my life that happened to me, like my grandma or my mom. I don't know, my grandma probably would believe me and immediately start praying, and like that doll would be out the way. Like, it would not be with us anymore. Like, it would be like, no, not in our possession. My mom probably would be like, yo, you wilding out. Your imagination is great, honey. What you gonna do with it? What you gonna do with that imagination? So yeah, I couldn't imagine. Nope. Has that ever happened to you? Did your toys, your dolls start moving and doing crazy stuff and in a different position than where you left it? Comment below. Follow all these creators, like this video, and subscribe.